Rajesh is back with us. Let's hope you can hear me. Rajesh, go ahead. We were talking about Kharkiv.
Shiv. Good morning, Shiv. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes.
As we talk, fierce fighting is going on in Kharkiv, in Kherson, and Donbass, Lugansk, in many parts of eastern Ukraine now. But of course, the focus right now is Kharkiv because it's the second biggest city in Ukraine and is heavily populated. A lot of damage to the city infrastructure, a lot of civilian areas have been hit last night, and fierce fighting is on as we talk now. With regards to Indian students, as per my information, still about 600 Indian students are stuck in Kharkiv. I could help some in the morning today to get out of Kharkiv in a train which left the city. And can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, and there is again reports of very fierce fighting coming from Kherson, from Mariupol, and Ukrainian forces have been cut off from Azov Sea. This is what I've heard so far on the battlefront. Over to you, Shiv.
What are you hearing about the safety of people still in Kharkiv right now, Rajesh? There are thousands of people who are still stuck in there, including thousands of Indians. Anything being done for them? Any clarity on how they're going to get out? Because the situation, like you said, is very intense and it is escalating visibly.
See, the fighting is going on right now and quite fierce, and a lot of civilian targets are being hit. Nobody is safe over there, and most of the civilians are still stuck in Kharkiv, unlike in Kyiv where they got prior notice and people have left. With regards to Indians, I think it's no longer thousands, it's just about 600 students who are still stuck in Kharkiv, and trains are leaving the city. Today morning, I could manage to help few Indian students to leave Kharkiv, could guide them to the train station, and many Indian students left Kharkiv today morning, and more trains will be leaving very soon. Over to you, Shiv.
Rajesh, also, the Ukrainian government has said that it is still in control of Kharkiv at this point of time, but it looks like everything in the Russian army's power is being done to shatter the city, to somehow dominate it and make it fall.
Very true, Shiv. Russian forces used all their might to capture Kharkiv, and Kharkiv is still holding after a full-scale invasion of 48 hours by Russian forces. But it appears that Russian forces are about to take control of the city as of now. Shiv.
They appear to be in a position to take this city. It could be the first big military objective as part of this invasion for Putin's invading forces. That's the scene that we're getting right now from Kharkiv at this point of time. There's also a historical, there's also a little bit of history as far as Kharkiv is concerned. That's the sense we've been getting from all the MPs we've been speaking to as well. Rajesh, have you been hearing about that as well? That Kharkiv has been an old objective for Putin that he wanted to fulfill.
Look, Shiv, I'm practically cut off from the outside media, more or less, except for people sending me reports on WhatsApp and on internet and my phone. But Kharkiv is a very important, it has a lot of significance for Ukrainian nation as such. Kharkiv was the first capital of Ukraine, Soviet Socialist Republic. So a lot of sentiments are attached to the city, and people take that as an integral part of Ukraine, and people have sentiments attached to the city as far as nationhood for a young nation of Ukraine is concerned. Also, let me remind you, Kharkiv has another distinction of being very majorly Russian supporters living there. Almost 80 to 85% population in Kharkiv is Russian speaking, are ethnic Russians, and have some sympathy for Russia. Maybe not so much for Mr. Putin, but for Russia as such. Over to you, Shiv.
Also, I wanted to ask you what's happening in Kyiv today, Rajesh. The large amounts of fearsome fighting taking place in Kharkiv at this point of time. Anything more we're hearing about the threat to Kyiv today? Quick update from you on that.
Quite surprising, Shiv. Last evening, there were air sirens the whole evening there, warning citizens about impending air raids, missile strikes. But fortunately, nothing of that sort happened. I heard only 3 blasts last night and 1 blast in the morning today, which means no intense shelling of Kyiv as of now, and no fighting, no fierce fighting has as yet started inside the city of Kyiv as of now. Shiv.
Okay, Rajesh, thank you very much for joining me with that live update from the city of Kyiv. It's day 7 of the fighting. Rajesh, if you're still with me, one final question to you is that we are on day 7. You've been reporting from day 1. You've been a personal witness to the escalation of these hostilities. How have things visibly changed, according to you, through your networks in the different parts of Ukraine? Isn't it true that the aggression has definitely heightened in the last 48 hours? It's visibly heightened.
Absolutely, Shiv. The aggression has increased, the scale of military operations has been up, and the intensity of fighting has increased, especially in eastern part of Ukraine. But surprisingly, Kyiv, which I thought would fall probably on, in fact, President Zelenskyy also thought the same, that the city would probably fall in next 72 hours, is still holding on, and visibly there is no intense fighting in the city and no shelling as of now, which may be related to the talk, on a second round of talks, which is going to happen today evening on the Belarus-Poland border between delegations of Ukraine and Russia. Could be related to that, and it could be that Russians are waiting for those talks to head somewhere. In case they fail, probably then we will see a full-scale invasion of Kyiv. Over to you.
Thanks very much for that. Stay safe, my friend. We'll keep coming back to you on this.